Hi there everybody, Bald&curious here. On February 18th I shot Smith & Wesson IDPA Indoor Nationals. Now I did classify as an expert in ESP, or should I say I got match bump. I classified as a marksman beginning of last year, and won after 2 matches. I won one New England regional. I won as a marksman in ESP, got bumped to sharpshooter, and I won a sharpshooter division in October, New York State match. So I got bumped to the expert. Now I didn't think I'm gonna get into nationals because I signed up too late. I was on the waiting list, like number 70. I completely forgot about it, to be honest. In the meantime, the Grand Power Excalibur, I lost the front sight, so I wound up sending the whole slide to Dawson because the sight they sent me was for the older model. So for $40, it was worth it just send them the slide. But a week later, I got an email that there's an open spot for the Indoor Nationals, which I couldn't pass. But I didn't really have my gun. So what I wound up doing, I wound up shooting the Arsenal Strike 1. You saw me shooting it. You saw me doing a review on the channel. This thing is still dirty from a match. I haven't cleaned it. We shot, I'm gonna say I shot altogether about 250 rounds. Now next video I'm gonna roll some footage from the match. I had my Sony head cam for the most of the stages. This was probably most challenging match I ever shot. For one, it was indoor. For two, there was about 8 low light stages. Out of those 8, there were about 3 that were virtually no light, so you shot them, well, completely in the dark with the flashlight. I did pretty good on the low lights. I completely screwed up one of the stages. I racked up shitload of points on it. But long story short, I think I came in 60 something overall. I think originally I was like 8 or something as an expert in ESP, but then a couple of people shot on Saturday, so I haven't checked the scores after. I'm fairly satisfied. I racked up a lot of down points. I had about 150 penalty points, but didn't shoot any no-shoots. I was a little pissed because I got a procedural, actually 2 of them on the last stage because I didn't load 10+1. I didn't see point to it because it was there was no moving. There was mandatory reload because there was 6 targets, so there was no advantage shooting 10+1. It's not like you can time a reload or anything. I just did it to speed up the process. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be a big deal. Apparently, it was. So anyway, back to the gun. So shot the match, no issues. Gun had no problems. I was shooting 165 grain extremes over about 3.1 tight group and the Federal primers. I didn't have a single issue with the gun. Now they tell you to bring 4 magazines. I had 2 original magazines. I had a CZ Medgar mag. That was my 3rd mag, and I borrowed the Medgar mag for a friend of mine, and I didn't really use it. I used it as a Barney mag just to load up. There was one stage that you could use 4 mags, but I just reloaded quickly. It wasn't a big deal. There was only one little issue I had with the gun, and it was on the very first stage we shot. It was actually the last stage, I think 14 that we shot first. And when I went to reload, I'm guessing I pressed the magazine release too much. And what happened when I pressed it too much, I can't really duplicate it now, but there you go. Okay, see what happened? It gets stuck, so I inserted the magazine. Thankfully, I noticed right away, so I didn't drop it. Okay, I realized what happened. I pushed it back. Took me a second, and then I finished up the last couple of shots, kind of like this, cupping the mag because I wasn't sure. So I was kind of careful from that point, not to push the mag release too much. That's like a major gripe I have about this gun, is the way the mag catch, the spring, and all the crap is designed. If anybody from Arsenal watches this, please come up with a better. I'm willing to pay money for an upgrade. It's an awesome gun, although I still like my Grand Power better for the kind of shooting I'm doing, but it's still an awesome gun. I mean, when we came to equipment check, the guy that was doing equipment check, he took about 3 times as long with my gun than he did with everybody else's, because he never saw one of these, and he was so impressed by the quality, by the way it felt in the hand, and by the way it pointed. He just kept playing around until people start complaining that then when I get through the equipment check as well. So it's it's definitely a great gun. The quality is great. Like I said, I had no issues with the reliability other than the damn mag release, the spring that's in there. So Arsenal, please, if you're watching it, if you know what, how, where, whatever, please come up with a better upgrade. Okay, it's just almost every gun has a different system. It doesn't have that hooky spring that you have, the leaf spring that releases the magazine. That's my only gripe, and because of that, in a competition, I don't really trust it. So I gotta second guess myself on a reload. I really hate doing that. Only modifications I did to the gun prior to the match is I added this tape, because when I was practicing last week in my garage for the low light, I found out that when I had a gun and I had a flashlight in between my fingers, I need a little more gripiness, and this is just probably not the most attractive but really simple way of doing it. And clear it down real fast. Only other thing I did was there's a glue residue. I had a piece of tape over here as well that came off. That was just to index my finger for the reloads and draws and whatnot. So for the holster, I used the Comtac paddle. No, it comes with the offset, but I took all the crap off and I pretty much just used the paddle holster. And it's pretty aggressive, so I had no issues of it falling off. And I used my trusty old Blade Tech magazine pouches. Now for the flashlight, I actually used 2 flashlights. I used the Streamline. What was this? A ProTech 2L. This is 2 CR123 batteries. I took the clip off and put a little grip tape where I hold it, just to make it more comfortable. This light, I used it for the New England. I used a couple of indoor shooting places, and just works fine for me. It's not too fat. I did use my Olight, the Javelot. I used that on a stage where we're shooting one-handed, because this is a lot brighter. So I used that on one of the stages, and that's about it. Use the Peltor headset. And as far as safety glasses, I actually love these. These are cheap as Home Depot. These have a Mike Holmes logo on it. They're really good. I keep them in the case just so they don't scratch as easy, but I have no issues with them. And my trusty Sony action cam was with me. Battery lasted throughout the whole 14 stages. Again, match was excellent. I wanna thank you to all the people that made it possible, all the autos. Some of them went out of the way to get into character. It was an excellent match. Looking forward next year. And 2 days after the match, what else can you do? I gotta go back to practice, right? gotta become a better shooter. I'm planning on winning some matches this year, so, or at least winning my divisions. So let's get to it. As always, have fun, keep shooting.